Hey there guys, we've now got the unit data for Blade Breaker Esther. So let's look at her kit. As you know, we're getting her completely for free to EX2. EX3 will need to get some bundles. But while we're talking about that though, someone did mention to me, and we're going to look right here, apparently the Blade Breaker Esther fragment bundle, based on the graphic, they're saying that this is a lapis bundle. You won't have to use cash for this one, based on what people are telling me. You know, wait until servers come up to get the final confirmation, but that might not cost cash. So there you go. As far as the crest bundle for the other shards, you know, wait till the servers come up. We'll have to see how that's handled. Anyway, let's look at Esther, and let me just tell you right now, she is even more insane than you thought. You know, like we kind of talked about in the news video, they just have thrown caution to the wind, and this unit, they don't care anymore. They don't care about power creep, I mean, so they're just going to let it run wild. Let's go over the kit. As far as her categories, Clash of Wills, and every single element, because she does all the elements. There you go. As far as stats, they're pretty good across the board. You know, the basic attack stat. Resistances, 75 to all. Immunities, all the important ones, immune to them. She can wear all the gear, including the helmet. She can wear lots of weapons. All that matters is a great sword, honestly, but she can use lots of them. Green magic, not that you'll ever use it, but there it is. Some special gear for her, we knew about that. And then her kit. So we're going to just go through the kit, and I'm going to try to restrain myself from saying how crazy and insane this is, because, like I said, they're just like jumping the shark. So here we go. Her LB damage buff is 600%, which is, you know, the new highest in the game. Rechargeable, so this will be usable every single SLB. Rechargeable, and fills morale gauge. Rainbow Storm, 200% AoE Omni Amplify for the party. So the entire party has 200% Elemental Amplify. Now this one is not reusable, it looks like, which kind of sucks. But for a big burst, you know, for the Dark Visions, you're never going to see again. But, well, you're never going to see a ranked Dark Visions again. But, yeah, you know, for a big burst turn, 200% to every single element for the entire party. So for those people that are still saying, we're not going to be closing the game anytime soon, I mean, you know, it's whatever. So there you go. She can also do physical cover for herself. It does cost LB gauge. These are just copied directly from Stormseeker Esther. Stormseeker Esther's Storm Guardian skill costs a little bit of LB gauge, 90% mitigation for self, MIT for the party, Mirage, etc. Rechargeable Omni cover for herself. So three turn duration, and it is a 3 charges per use, and I think, real quick, I think her SLB only recharges 1 at a time. Restore 1 Magnus charge. Okay, it's actually not full uptime. Not full uptime. Yeah, so you can only use this at the beginning of battle, and then once, at best, once every 9 turns. Yeah, you're really not going to be recharging that very often. 3 charges per use. Yep, so you can only use this as an emergency. That being said, don't waste your time having Esther tank. She does too much damage to bother tanking, but there it is. And yeah, same thing as the other Esther, absorbs lightning damage, etc. A backup LB buff, I'm not sure why you'd ever use this, because we've got the infinitely reusable 600, but there it is. Triple cast, of course. On demand, perfect dispel for the enemies, perfect cleanse for the party, just on demand. Her chaining will cleanse the party, dispel the enemies, perfect dispel, fills 30 LB gauge per cast. Normally these are 20. Esther's 30 because why not? There you go. She can swap to all 8 of the elements at 60% amp, although that doesn't matter. You're going to see why in a second. She has permanent 180 amplify. So these amps are kind of like, who cares? But anyway, yeah, all 8 elements. She's got this buff for the party. 300 stats for the party, 300 LB for the party, 85 breaks on all the enemies, a small great sword in peril, she does better later. 200% lightning in peril on all enemies. On a cooldown, not a Magnus, mind you, a cooldown with full uptime. She has Omni Amplify Field, Omni Imperil Field, of 30% to all the elements except for lightning, which is 70 amp and 50 imperil. And the imperil for enemies is 20 to all. But yeah, so lightning is the big deal here. So between this and the field, that's a 250 lightning imperil, always active, and a 70 amp field for the whole party. Plus her 200, that's 270 amp for the whole party. Pretty insane. A bunch of killers that are reusable for Human, Reaper, Fairy, Demon. That's probably going to be Morgana. And then another reusable Magnus. This one is a 100% amp for the party. And this is reusable. So the party can always have this. Well, not always. Only a 2-turn duration. And rechargeable on the SLB. So it's up 2 out of 3 turns, best case scenario, for the whole party. But still, that's pretty insane. 100% amp, just like reusable the entirety of the fight. That's amazing. A once per battle, 99% physical mitigation for the whole party. A recastable, well, it means once per battle, but an auto recast for the next 2 turns. So 3 turns in total of AoE auto revive, AoE 200 to all resist, AoE 50 MP and HP restore. And this auto cast, so fights like Morgana that drain your mana, this will automatically fill you at the next turn. So pretty crazy. Mitigation, racial mitigation of 85% for Demon, Human, Fairy, and Reaper. So, I mean, you know, of course, you're going to want her in your party for Morgana. There you go. Another Magnus skill, 300% Omni Killer. Every single race, 300%. That is higher than exists in the game. And don't forget, if you have Zahn on the party, Zahn can copy this, and Zahn can keep refreshing it too. Zahn can't maintain full uptime by himself, but if Melissa is on the party, then Zahn can do basically full uptime for the party of 300 Omni Killer to every single race. This is insane. 3 times per battle, cooldown reduction, and then 5 stack Mirage for the party, and then she can provoke with 80% mitigation with also 80% mitigation, racial mitigations. Pretty crazy. Let's skip to her other skills first. All 8 in Imbue, so in Farega, in Blazega, all 8 of them, so that you can just imbue any element you want. Her leader skill we know about from the preview. And then her SLB is a 50% Greatsword in Peril. 500% stat buff. Once again, Zahn can steal this and share this with the party. So 500% stat buff. That is the, you know, highest in the game at this point. 970 LB, 1220 in Clash, and again, no modifier buffs, which is awesome. So she can just do that every single turn. And then, well, on the SLB. She can do it on turn 1. You know, slightly weaker right here. 870 and then 1120 on the normal LB. Also fills the Magnus charges. We knew about that as well. Then her passives. So the good thing is the only EX3 passive is this one, Magnetosphere, which gives a little bit of stats and then some chain cap and LB damage. Honestly, this is not that important. So if you don't decide to get her to EX3, it's really not that big a deal. It's just, you know, the vision card will fix this, and then just give her like Magister's Ring or something, and you're good to go. Anyway, this is kind of hilarious. At EX1, every single turn she will autocast Rainbow Rider, which is a 180 Omni Amplify. Every turn, she automatically amplifies herself to all the elements by 180%. So she will never have less than 180 amplify. That is crazy. That is crazy. So she is, like, obviously the best damage per turn unit. 50 evasion, a lot of stats. Omni Killer, 200% right there. And then, you know, double hand, chain cap, She's got guts, the usual stuff. 400% true double hand defense, which is kind of nice. Immune to stop and charm, always nice to see. A lot of passive stats. I'm not going to add them all up, but just a lot of passive stats. Chain speed, Omni Killer, 200 LB damage down here. Like I said, even if you don't get EX3, 200 LB damage here and then 100 on a vision card, you're good to go. And start of the battle, Ionic Charge fills the morale gauge, barrier for the party, 60 LB, she fills her LB gauge, and then her normal attack fills LB gauge for the party if you give her counter attack. So yeah. Is Esther a good unit? Yeah, you could say that. Strongest unit in the game. Oh yeah, and her damage calculations. So damage calculations, we've got outside of morale content, with the Dark Vision's Greatsword, she's actually not that much higher than other units. Now keep in mind, on my spreadsheet, I have gone ahead up here, and I have included Esther's 200% in peril for the entire party. And I've included a 50 weapon in peril just for convenience's sake. So that's factored into everybody. So like Rain, Tybus, and all them, they're also using Esther's 200 amp and 50 weapon in peril. But and then if you don't use the Greatsword, her own STMR, she's a little bit down here. Then in morale content, Esther is just the best, period. Really high with the Dark Vision's Greatsword, and then her own STMR, she's a little bit lower, but still the best here. And don't forget, this 200 Amplify that everyone's calced with, they can only use that one time, whereas Esther has 180 permanently. So if you're doing like a 15 turn clear on Vlad or something, turn 15, Esther is still using 180 Amplify, while everyone else is using either Esther is 100 or like 60 or something. Yeah. Is she good? Should we pull for her? Well, guess what? She's completely free. And yeah. Really good unit. Really good unit. The most crazy broken unit you will literally ever see on Global, because you know why. But she's free. She's completely free. And depending how much the bundle cost, you might even get her to EX3. Although you really don't need to, I don't think. But we'll see. If the bundle really does cost Lapis and not cash, I mean, I'll grab it if I can afford it. I'm not sure how much it'll cost. I've only got like 24K or something on Global, plus whatever we get tomorrow. Anyway, great unit. Great unit. Get her when you log in. Okay, we're going to be doing Morgana tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to stream Morgana. I'm undecided, honestly. I might sleep late. I don't know. We will see what we do tomorrow. If I stream, we'll be there. But I'm leaning towards not streaming it. I don't know. In any case, there is Esther. Crazy unit. Best in the game for obvious reasons. And we will see you soon. See ya.